wine, sipping and spilling it. Sipping and spilling the tea. Sipping and spilling it.
What is poppin', everyone?
What's poppin'?
How you niggas doing?
I'm feeling real motherfucking victorious. I'm feeling very, leisure. I'm feeling very much luxury. That's how I'm feeling. How are you feeling?
You look like luxury.
Thank you.
Looking like you chilling, just a lounge around the house outfit while being a bad bitch and getting your
It's giving
done.
stay at home mom. It's giving I went to yoga early and now I want to just take drinks and be on a Zoom call with my girlfriends because I just still believe in COVID. That's what it's giving. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I had a long day today, but it's okay. I was being the world's best auntie.
She was trying to save the world. Do y'all not see Kim Possible over here, y'all?
This bitch. She's been calling me Kim Possible since I got here. And I'm just like, I get it. It's the hair. But guess what? I don't think I've ever done this color before.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, and I love it on me. I might get a real wig of this color just because I'm feeling it. It gives me like extra sexy powers or something.
Extra sexy powers?
Extra sexy powers.
What does that include? Because I would love to know what extra sexy powers are.
I think extra sexy powers gives you more free shit.
More free shit. So that's what being sexy gets you.
I don't know. I think that no. The powers is what gets me. The hair has powers, and that's what extra free shit. You know what? I've noticed like since I started wearing, because it's been a while since I've worn wigs. I've been on my braids lately, but the type of attention I get from men is different when I have my wigs on.
Really?
And it really is. I think the type of men I attract is depending on my hairstyle.
I feel that.
When I have braids, I attract a certain type of men. When I have wigs, I attract a certain type of men. And when I have hair color, I attract a certain type of men. Like, it's never the same type of men I attract, I feel like. So, yeah, so I think this one, since I started wearing it, it's been giving me extra sexy powers, like just more free shit.
Okay,
off the wazoo.
Okay, off the wazoo.
Off the wazoo.
Okay, so.
But speaking of the wazoo, I have a fucking PSA, y'all. I think the people who listen to our podcast, I don't know, they're probably our age, so they probably won't, feel the need to and take this in. But if you are speaking to anyone older or know any older people, let them know this, that especially the men, when you're speaking to a young, hot tenderoni and you're trying to whatever, get her to like you, sending pictures of yourself is not the way to get her to like you. I met this guy and he just immediately was trying to show off that he has money by sending pictures of himself boarding an airplane. He's trying to show me, oh, look, I'm boarding first class. Oh, look, I'm in first class, like constantly, like sent me 2 pictures. And one of the pictures he sent me, he was like, how are you doing? With a picture of himself smiling in first class. I'm like, I get it. You're in first fucking class. Cool. And I feel like they're doing it in like saying, okay, I sent you pictures or sent me pictures, but we're not going to send
it's giving like niggas that never had shit. They want to make sure they get the documentation that they actually did it.
That's what it's giving, right? It's giving. And when I met him yesterday, he kept bringing up that he has money. I'm like, oh God, that actually makes my pussy dry. Tell me you got money like twice. Don't keep telling me.
I love it when y'all pull out $1,000 to pay for a bag of chips or for like a water.
Yeah.
That shit is like the most horniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm like, oh, jeez, yes, do it. $1,000 is not going to me.
That's the thing. That's not good. You told me all the money that I do not have in my hand.
Hello.
Like, why?
It's giving me envy. It's giving me anger.
It's giving me anger. So, yeah. And like, okay, it's the same night I met him. Stephanie met this other guy. And immediately, this light-skinned bald nigga sent her 5 attachments. 5 pictures of himself. That was the first thing he did was send her 5 pictures of himself. With no words.
But he probably just wanted her to remember what he looked like. Because, So
you need 5 pictures?
As a young tenderoni, we might have like really short attendance spans.
So we need 5 pictures?
Absolutely.
Are you gorilla? Looking good today? Send my nigga 5 attachments? Like, no.
I think he was trying to follow like the trends. Maybe he was thinking that was something that was trendy. It was said in the song. So, I might be broke tomorrow. What did she say? I might be broke tomorrow. Something about credit score.
I might be broke today. But no, she said my credit score might be fucked up, but I'm going to be rich as fuck tomorrow. Something like that. Lines. But yeah, and then she opened the message, didn't say shit, and then he proceeded to send her 2 more messages of himself. And it's just like, and then she just blocked him after that because it's just like, stop sending pictures of yourself. But I said all this to say, stop sending us pictures of yourself. We don't want to see you eating. We don't care what you're doing. We don't care that you're playing golf. We don't care that you just woke up. We don't care that you saw the sun. We don't care about any of those things. We just want you to give us money. Okay. If you want to have conversations and someone who cares about your day, talk to a bitch your old age. Stop trying to talk to young hot things thinking we don't care about you. Talk to a bitch your own age.
You know, I'm not gonna say that because I got some old niggas I'll probably rock with, not for the money sack, but just because you know they cool people. But yeah,
I would rock with the old nigga that was attractive, you know, all that stuff. He was hot, whatever. But if you're an unattractive old nigga,
come with the funds.
come with the funds. Come with the motherfucking funds.
Okay. Anyway, let's get into some fucking
today.
Anyways, let's get into some story time before Sammy makes you believe that we're in this like money cult, which we're not. The Astros won H-time. So in the honor of Astros, your girl got her titties out and I'm in orange. What's up? I don't know if that's the reason why, but
you just wanted to have your titties out today. And that is okay because you don't have to have a reason to have your titties out.
Yes, you do. The Astros winning is great enough reason.
Girl, you can have your titties out because you want to. That's a good enough reason. You don't have to have a real reason. Just whatever you want to do that day. But yeah, congratulations. I don't really care about baseball.
I do. I absolutely do. Because I mean, that's the only winning team in Houston. Can we care about the only winning team in Houston?
I mean, I really don't care about baseball.
The Rockets don't win.
No.
Texans don't win.
Yeah, I know.
So let's go Astros!
I tried to take my niece to the Astros parade and it was so fucking
it was
packed.
crazy. It was crazy. I saw everybody on their stories and I said, good luck.
I tried. I was a full. My friend said the streets were full by 8 a.m. People were already there.
They took off school for that shit.
Yeah,
we take that shit seriously.
Seriously,
if we don't win shit when we finally do, it's enough for niggas to get off of fucking work and school.
Work for this.
It's like President's Day. It's giving that.
It's a national holiday.
It's fucking giving bigger than Black History Month.
And baseball players make so much money
because they play the most games in all of the leagues.
Yeah,
they play the most games.
If you really want a rich nigga, get you a baseball player, and they have nice butts.
Do they?
Girl, they have really great butts.
I think they have nice arms, just because you know
they have nice arms and nice butts, but they always got bellies.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, but baseball
some of them
players
don't be that tall either, though.
Baseball players don't gotta be really fit.
They don't. They really don't. As long as you... But I feel like, wouldn't you have to be fit to run, catch? And it's like all long distance. It's not like something that is all in close proximity. It's all like...
I don't know, but if you notice, they don't really have like the best bods. Soccer players have really good bodies.
I mean, of course. But and
baseball players. And swimmers got
basketball players because they have to do all that
basketball
running.
Players. And swimmers got really good bodies. And gymnastics, they all got good bodies. But baseball and golf, their bodies are regular, smegular, degular. But they got nice butts. But speaking of nice butts, the girls are back at it again. Another messy ass episode of Sip and Spill where we create conversations. Oh, wow.
Sipping wine.
I go with a motherfucking Thug Sammy.
I am crying and I am ambitious alien superstar. Teray.
Ow.
So while you're at it, can you follow us on social media platforms at The Real Sip and Spill, except Twitter, which is
Sip and Spill 1.
And give us a 5-star rating because we're some 5-star bitches.
Ow. Don't forget our YouTube, our Patreon, our Twitter, our Sip and Review when you send us shit
and review it. Our Reels.
Our TikToks. Our Tickety Talks.
Our TikToks.
Our merch.
Our merch at the Sip and Spill shop. And like we said, more pop-ups coming soon. So support your girls because we support y'all.
All right.
Anyway, so let's get into Would You Rathers.
Okay. Would you rather have to fight a cow every time you got into your car? Or would you rather have to fight an orangutan once a year, but you get a bow and arrow?
I would like a orangutan because I feel like only once a year beats me getting my car all the time. And hold on, side note, someone hit my motherfucking car and I'm coming for you. I don't know who the fuck did it.
That is funny that I wrote this before I even knew about your car.
I don't know who did it. I don't know where you at, but God gonna get you better than I'm gonna fucking get you. But just know I saw it.
You didn't see it.
That's all I'm saying.
Saw the damage.
I saw the damage.
Someone on their car bag.
I'm not coming for that ass, but I'm gonna pray about it. And God don't play about me. That's all I gotta say.
Okay.
So my would you rather is, would you rather die in 20 years with no regrets or live up until 100 with a lot of regrets?
Die in 20 years with no regrets.
I feel that too. I'm like, fuck it. Ball out.
Ball out. I don't want to be old and sad and
and miserable. And like, I could have did this.
Yeah,
nah, fuck that shit. Let me die today.
Girl.
Hey, legends don't ever make it far anyway. So,
all right,
let's get into some wine facts so we can get into some motherfucking tea time.
Tea time. So another fun fact about this wine fact that this wine was already previously purchased by me. Once again, I got the same wine, so I am a loser. But we're gonna talk about it all over again, like I never got it, like she never got it before. Okay, this is called Angel's Ink. It's such a cute little bottle.
I know. Remember that was when you were obsessed with that one filter that gave you tattoos on the neck, and that's why I kept talking about that. Reminded me of that because it looks like tattoo.
I love it. So, it's a Pinot Noir. We're Pinot hoes. It's from the Central Coast of California. It's going to be rich, round, and a supple texture. Very fruit forward. It's going to have a palate with a crush of berry vanilla, baked juiciness, and a lot of personality. Okay, I guess.
We like a lot of personality. We don't even go through things for looks anymore.
Then, bitch, with all that personality. We should get a lot of personality. She beat my ass with all of it.
Okay. Let's try it.
All right, let's try it.
What is the alcohol percentage? What is it? 13.5?
It is 13.5.
LOL. How do I know that? Because we drank it before.
Okay, bitch. I already said it.
Ooh, I get the honor of you pouring it for me first. The more I drink wine, it makes me appreciate white people because they actually don't drink wine like we think they do. Because I've been watching the Gilmore Girls and they don't be drinking wine. They be drinking fucking martinis.
Who drinks martinis?
The Gilmore Girls.
Rory drink martinis?
Not Rory. The mother and Lorelai. They drink a lot of martinis with the dad.
Oh, okay.
So we over here saying white women like wine. White women like wine. I don't think white women like wine.
I think they do.
They drink every Friday. Not once have they talk about wine. Every Friday. Martinis. The nastiest of nastiest.
You know what? They have to drink martinis. They're drinking straight liquor.
That is.
What does that say about their life?
They are stressed the fuck out.
Exactly.
Cheers to another messy ass episode of Sip and Spill. We create conversations all while sipping wine. Ow. I hate it.
Did you hate it last time?
I probably did. We can always go and fact check. Nowadays, I like something that is more on the drier side. I feel like
I don't hate it.
Because I remember we used to start with very introductory wines, as in Stella, and then we got to a place where we were doing red blends for a long time, and now I either need a Cabernet or a Merlot. I need something that's more on the.
We don't do Merlots often.
We do not, so I might just have to bring one next week. Who knows? I might surprise you bitches. I might fucking surprise you bitches.
So it's tea time.
Tea time.
Okay, so Drake.
21. Can you do something for me?
Hey, did you see the video of them wrestling and they make Drake look so fucking sassy?
No,
I don't know. They make Drake look so sassy.
They always make Drake look sassy. That's the narrative. That's the running joke.
Drake is sassy.
I like a little sassy nigga,
you don't. You don't like a sassy. Let's be fucking for real. No, we don't like sassy niggas.
BFFR.
Be fucking for real. So Drake, he has an album with 21 Savage, which I love.
I haven't listened to it.
I listened to some of it. I like 21 Savage. I'm a big 21 Savage fan. Drake is cool. I'm a big fan. And 21. Pussy. He's always trying to kill somebody. But so Drake had a line where he said, the bitch talking about some shots.
Something about no shots. She ain't a stallion, something like that.
She's a stallion, right?
Yeah, but she's a stallion.
And that comment. Well, I guess it was supposed to be a double entendre. Little Yachty came online and said he was talking about butt shots, but he said shot as in no S's at the end of it.
Are you sure? Did you fact check that it was no S?
There was no S. He said shot.
Okay.
I'm thought about getting shot, so he didn't say shots. He said shot.
Interesting.
But I don't know. I don't think it's a double entendre. I think it was a dig on Meg. And And then the way the internet kind of came for his ass over it was kind of like funny.
I mean, this is how I feel, and I'm gonna stand on it. You can't cancel Drake. There's nothing that he can do, say.
You think people are trying to cancel him? Or
well, there was a lot of people saying you're attacking a black woman. X, Y, and Z. I'm like, we get in an uproar about things every other week.
But is that canceling him though? It's just saying he's attacking. I think it's not just holding him accountable.
The thing is, that means we have to hold everyone accountable for everything they fucking say. So
especially if you black.
I'm saying if he meant that to be malicious, absolutely attack him. But at the end of the day, rappers are rappers. They say shit all the fucking time.
Yeah.
People said way more disrespectful shit than.
Well,
hold on. People have said way more disrespectful shit than that.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like. Everything is fair game once it goes on the internet. If you say that you got shot and then it comes out that you didn't get shot or something like, people are going to say whatever they want to fucking say. You have to just be able to accept it.
Okay.
I feel like nothing is off limits once you put it on the internet. And I know that sounds bad, but it's true because the internet never dies. So it's like.
But is it you putting it on the internet or is it leaking? Because sometimes things leak. So is it their fault that it got out? Because Meg didn't go on the internet and say, Troy shot me. The police report got leaked.
I think she absolutely did go on the internet. She had a whole live talking about she got shot.
She
and they
did
was
that.
That's
That's not how we found out. We did not find out by.
I don't know how we found out because I wasn't.
Okay, so
I
did not find out by Megan going on Twitter, going and saying Tory shot me. How I found out was from the police. They're leaking the video. So I feel when you say whenever we say they put it out there, a lot of things that we know about celebrities they did not personally put out there. There's some people like Summer Walker who tells her whole business, or Kim Kardashian who tells her whole business, or them like that, or the Kardashians who purposely put their business out there. But sometimes things get out there and then you're forced to get in front of the narrative by now speaking about it. So I don't think she put it out there that she got shot. I think it got out there and then she had to talk about it and get in front of the narrative. But whichever the case is, because we still to this day don't know if she got shot or not.
But the thing is, also you're a celebrity. It comes with the territory. Like I said, it just nothing is off limits.
Yeah.
So it's like
you have no sympathy, nothing. Something you're like, you're a celebrity. You just got.
It's lyrics. At the end of the day, I'm saying people would be that whole fucking song where Nicki was talking shit about all them fucking the other rappers that would never be able to have a chance to fuck her. That probably don't want to fuck her. Was people attacking her for that?
No, they weren't.
And the thing is, he said shit about other people too.
And he got attacked too. The whole line about Serena's husband, they're like, blah, 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 blah. I don't know why this album just pissed people off so much.
But that's what I'm saying. People gonna always be pissed off. So if you get hung off of every line that every rapper says, we gonna be dissecting it all the time. Yeah. I'm not a rapper. I'm just a creative. So I understand that sometimes you don't want to be attacked from your art, but that's what comes with the territory.
That's what comes with the territory.
So,
but I think it was more of she was just tired of the Megan hate train.
Yeah,
it's just another person talking.
But I feel like she's if it doesn't like a stallion, like I keep saying, he's like a stallion is not just Meg, even though it is attached to her. Yeah. A stallion is someone who's built. Yeah, Meg is not the only woman that is built in this world. So that's what I'm saying. Take from it what you want to. Your name is still in them niggas' mouth. So take it as a positive or a negative, but all publicity is publicity.
Okay. So we didn't even get to what we want to talk about because we were talking about how Drake got lipo. I remember when I told you Drake got lipo and his abs are fake and you refused to believe me. You just refused. And then Dr. Miami finally said it when Drake wants a second round of lipo and you said no because you were hiding. I told you Drake got fucking lipo. But it's okay though. I feel like it's nothing wrong for men to get their body done. I just hate when you get your body done and then you try to like throw rocks and hide your hand. Like Drake, say you got your body done. Because how I know you got your body done is your face don't match your body. Like, why is your cheek kind of fat but your body skinny?
Maybe you just like to eat some good food.
That's how I know those abs are not real.
I am sick to my fucking. I'm not doing this with you, Samantha.
There's nothing wrong with it, nigga. Just don't talk about ass shots if you got some abs shots.
I'm crying, not ab shots. Ab shots. So on to more pressing matters. So in all seriousness, within the last week, months prior, and it's been a lot actually. So RIP to Takeoff. That's a big deal. Yeah. That's really sad. Like
honestly, the whole situation, I was really shocked and taken back by it because one, it was very unexpected. Two, it doesn't make sense. It's
never gonna make sense to us.
Why Houston? before, it's the Migos. Like, I feel like if y'all went to college between 2012 and 2016, 17, you understand the impact Migos had in our life.
Absolutely.
I mean, every house party, every college party, Migos. The way people rap Migos. When Drake hopped on that Versace remix, it just changed rap forever. So it's really sad. I think Takeoff was like everyone's favorite Migo.
I think he's not our favorite Migo, but he's our most like underrated, wanting to be overrated Migo.
Sure.
Because I feel like, personally, my favorite is, I like Takeoff, but Offset will probably be my favorite, just because I like Cardi. You know?
Okay.
That's
the reason why you like Offset, because you like Cardi? Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't know anything about Takeoff. We don't.
Yeah, he's chill. I like Takeoff as an Aries.
I know. I don't know.
Quavo's Aries.
But I'm saying, either way, we don't know anything about him, but it's still sad because, I mean, like, I can't even listen to the Migos the same when they played. Because it's like, you know, when Dolph died and they played his music, when P&B Rock died and they played his music, when Vaughn died. Like, when we're hearing all these things in the club, it's still jam. But when you hear the Migos, it really don't hit the same. It doesn't.
It's sad.
And I'm going to say, speaking of that, I mean, it was, what is it, the 2-year anniversary of Keen Vaughn dying? And I think as a community, we need to take it more seriously that
the amount of
deaths that we've had back to back, it's not going to stop until we change the rhetoric and the conversations around killing and X, Y, and Z, because we're over here laughing and jamming to this shit. But then at the end of the day, we're not losing our lives behind it. They are.
They are. Yeah.
And it affects us because it's like we feel related to them in some way.
We feel connected to them, definitely. And we have to look back and realize, why is our community that's continually getting killed by gun violence? What is it that we're doing? Like, what is it? The music? Is it with the words? Are we saying, because they say words have power, so when we're saying
we are inciting those things, we're manifesting that into our lives.
So do we got to change rap lyrics? I don't know, but I think it's really sad. I feel like ever since Nipsey died, there's been like a ball of just rappers dying to gun violence.
It was like Nipsey, then it was like XX, and then it was like Juice.
Well, he died of an overdose. And I
think that was Juice WRLD that died over a overdose.
Yes, that's what I said. You said Juice, and I was like, he died of overdose.
I know, but I would say XX, but I'm just saying, like, it's continuous. It's not, it's never ending.
I was recently listening to Juice WRLD song. Pop Smoke. I'm not a big Juice the World. I never listened
Juice the World.
What's his name? Juice WRLD?
Juice WRLD.
Oh, I said Juice the World? My bad.
Girl,
I never listened to a Juice WRLD song prior to this recently. And in his song, he was literally rapping, singing about
sadness.
He was singing about overdosing, and he literally said these drugs will kill me. And I'm just like, wait, this baby was literally talking.
But even back to like Biggie and Tupac, they talking about their death before it even happened.
It's crazy.
You're manifesting your own death. And surprise. Well, they're not surprised, because I mean, what surprise do they have other than what's happening after death?
Yeah.
So
and then Aaron Carter, that was like a weird.
That was so random.
What? Well, I mean, he did have a drug problem, so I mean, I'm not gonna be surprised if it's.
I'm gonna say, but drugs, violence, all that all together in combination, it's like that doesn't have to be the outcome of all of our. I want to say heroes, but
do you think the drug deaths and gun violence that just happen really often, but we're just not aware of it, but we're only aware of it when it happens to celebrities?
I feel like we're aware of it in our everyday life, but because like we see crackheads every fucking day.
Yeah, like because we personally know people.
People that are affected by that, but to us, when it's on a larger scale that affects more people, it seems more impactful.
Yeah,
like I know people in my life that I know are functioning alcoholics, but I'm just like, I don't think they're at that place yet. But I know that they're probably at a place that's detrimental to their life. But it's like, what can you do to stop it? What conversation needs to be had? Because it's like, at your grown-ass age,
are you the right person to have that conversation?
Exactly, because am I the pot calling the kettle black? Because people will see me fucking drunk every this and third thing I'm going through shit. And I'm like, I just suffer from seasonal depression. I do, y'all. So when I am going out occasionally or a lot, it's probably because I'm trying to just like, get over the change of seasons type of depression. But that's nor here nor there. But death is something that touches everyone, and it has no face. So
it has no face. And then I was seeing like life still goes on, and it's like, damn, like Takeoff has such a big impact, but life still goes
literally
on.
Next week, are we gonna still be sad about it?
I'm thinking like we'll still be sad about it, but it won't be on the Shade Room or front page news anymore. Like we could not get away from it. Slowly it's like less and less.
And another reason why we couldn't get away from it, y'all, please stop recording people's death. It is not your responsibility, nor is it tasteful to post someone's death. Like that is the most low vibrational thing you can absolutely do. And doing that means you have no respect for that person and their family, because they have to constantly relive that. still trying to cope with that because you never get over death. You just learn how to function. So, yes. Thank y'all for coming to our TED Talk.
Thank you for coming to our TED Talk.
Now on more pressing matters, can we please talk about Summer Walker? Can we please talk about Krishan Rock? Baby, I can't say your name, and it is not anything against you. I probably have not heard anyone say your name right. That's probably why we're going to call you Rock.
Krishan.
Okay, we're going to just call you Rock, because I know that for a fact.
Krishan Rock.
Yes, Rock and Summer Walker. So interchangeably, let's talk about that. So there was a live where Rock was on with Blueface, and they had specific questions pop up. So she was looking at Blueface in her drunken state, as she always is, which is always a bad look for her. Because every time she's on, and that's what we were just talking about. I feel like if you're constantly always drunk, you have to be going through something. Like,
she's dating Blueface. She's definitely constantly going through something.
So there was 2 specific questions that happened. And one was, will you ever get Rock tattooed on him? And he just started laughing, like just looking at her like, bruh. He said, maybe someday. And I'm just like, bro, this bitch got you tattooed like 8 times.
2 in the one here and one here.
Like,
his face.
And I don't even know how many times she has his name tattooed on her.
Yeah.
Like,
I think she has 9.
I would never get Jonathan tattooed on me. I'm so sorry. That's not a special name, I wouldn't. I would have to always date.
Is that what, the baby?
No, his name is Jonathan. That's what Blueface's real name is.
Oh,
Jonathan.
Okay, I'm thinking the baby. Okay.
What is his real name?
Jonathen.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you can only date a nigga named Jonathan now for the rest of your life. But then and then also there was a question that said, when are you getting a baby when are you giving Rock a baby? And she was like, yeah, when you give me a baby? And they're like working on it right now. And I'm like, that is the most traumatic thing a man could ever do to me, is give me a fucking child.
Yeah.
Like,
a child with no ring.
A child with no ring. Child with no promise. Child when you're still fucking your baby mama. Child when you're embarrassing me. Child with all this fucking stress.
Heavy on child when you're embarrassing me. He literally went on the internet and said, I can have my way with these hoes because they allow me to have my way with them.
And he's very low tier, low scale. Like, I feel like Blueface is one of the ugliest rappers that are in the game next to Lil Uzi, in my opinion.
It's the drugs, man. Drugs are really bad. And there's a show they have coming out with her and him. And it's just like, I feel like you should not televise an abusive relationship.
Absolutely.
Whatever it is, we can tell they abuse each other. It's not just him. It's her too.
It's definitely.
And it's like, it's toxic. Can we not put this on TV for millions of people to consume and younger generation to see that and think that's okay and think that's love? Yeah. That's absolutely disgusting that they're getting the show. And honestly, what was Blueface before her? I feel like she is a light and she's misunderstood. She got a lot of things going on with her and her
energy is contagious. Her energy is so contagious.
But she is a light. And that nigga is bringing her down. Because she's just so hard she's lovable. Even though that bitch got some problems, she's lovable. So, and then, when you are a light and you're going somewhere and you have, so much, people will attach themselves to you because they know you're going somewhere. And Blueface has attached himself to her. And that's why she's looking stupid on the internet every 5 seconds when we know she can be so much more than that. But at the end of the day, she's only 22. So I'm like, she's going to grow one day and realize, bitch, you don't need him. You can make millions of dollars without him. Get yourself out of his label. Because I think she signed to him and she just signed her life away. It's a boy, I know. Girl probably signed her life away to him and don't even know because the bitch probably can barely read.
I am sick. Well, that's nor here nor there. Yeah. But that's going to get us to our topic of conversation. Because we were going to talk about summer, but we're being very mindful of our time and where we're trying to go with this. Yeah. So we're going to get into the topic of conversation. The topic of conversation is relationship PTSD.
Yes. So before we get to that, we're going to talk about
PTSD in general.
In general, yeah. So post-traumatic stress disorder is my bad. Okay. One more time. So post-traumatic stress disorder is a disorder when a person has difficulty recovering after experiencing or witnessing a terrifying event. So there are different types of PTSDs. According to mindjournal.com, there is an acute stress disorder and there is complicated PTSD. Have that, issue.
I think the only reason why, I just feel like it's only if you don't genuinely want the child.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why you would feel so illusion from your body if you didn't actually want the child. So
Okay.
that's probably my thing. And some other causes are death of a close one, health issues, and domestic violence.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot my last one. Serious accidents.
Serious accident.
Yeah.
So 1 in 3 people suffer from post-traumatic PTSD. Let me not try to do all that shit because, I'm going to get tongue-tied real quick because I've been drinking. And you're at a higher risk of PTSD if you suffer from depression and anxiety. So, do you currently have any relationship PTSD?
Girl. Do I? Of course. I feel like that's probably the reason why I am the way I am because of my relationship PTSD. Yeah, I think I have relationship PTSD over my one ex that was homeless. I feel like he definitely probably caused, well, him and the other one that I feel like I realized I had a trauma bond to. But I feel like the homeless nigga definitely, well, the homosexual nigga definitely caused me to have serious PTSD because I refuse to entertain anyone who doesn't have any sort of money. Like, if you can't do anything for me, I refuse to even even try to build anything with a guy who doesn't have some sort of money. And it's probably because he stole so much money from me. He didn't even steal that much money from me. But
I mean, when you're a broke college student, anything is a lot of fucking
money.
Okay.
So yeah, he stole and it was money over time too.
Yeah.
It wasn't just that big
lump sum
that he stole. He stole money over time of us being in a relationship. And it was just me realizing that he was taking money from me and taking me on dates with my own money. And it was just a psychological I don't know. It was just damn, how could I be so dumb to be with a guy? And I'm still making him, thinking I'm being smart, making him pay bills. But bitch, you're really paying the bills because he's taking your own money to pay the bills. So it was that whole situation that caused me to just never deal with anyone who didn't have. And I used to pay for the dates. I used to always pay for everything. Everything I pay for.
That's interesting.
I know.
Wow.
Tell me now if I was going to pay for everything.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just remember that. I think I blocked that part of our relationship, but I used to really, besides maybe a couple of dates, I paid for everything. And he never had money. Ever.
That's very...
And he had a job. And the only reason he had that job is because I made him get the job. Because the job he had, when he started staying with me, he quit his job. So this man probably thought he was going to live off of me. Oh my God.
Your international super spy came possible. I would live off for you too.
So yeah, that's why I have that relationship PTSD. What about you?
I absolutely feel like there's always remnants of PTSD that I experience because when you think that you're over something and you're extremely triggered by something, very little, you realize that it's still there. So yeah, and I feel like what caused it is definitely putting up with more than I knew I should. And it's only because you think you're so in love until you're not. And it has nothing to do with how much they gave me or it's just how they made me feel. And it's when I catch a whiff of a feeling that I accept and I love, I don't want to let go of that just for the simple fact of minor blemishes. And clearly they're not blemishes when I get out of it because I'm like, damn.
So
that nigga's fucked up. I'm like, damn, that nigga fucked up.
Yeah.
Real bad. So, do you think that you can recover from relationship PTSD?
I think you can recover from relationship PTSD. I feel like my relationship PTSD is definitely recoverable. It's not as serious oh my God, I'm so traumatized because one nigga used me, whatever. But I think it just caused me to never want to deal with, a broke man ever again. But it didn't traumatize me to the fact where I can't date other, well, maybe I can. It did because I haven't dated another broke man since. So I guess it did traumatize me to that point. But I don't take that PTSD seriously because there's much more serious emotional damage that people can do to you that can cause relationship PTSD. And I don't think my little financial,
I feel like because you're making it seem little is making it seem like it wasn't a big deal, but it is.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I feel like because now you will not date a broke man even if he was on the route to a Fortune 500.
Yeah,
because he's broke. That's a big deal. You literally just said, I will not date a broke man to save my life.
Yeah. To save my life, his life, or his mama life.
Exactly.
You're all gonna die.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's not a little deal.
Yeah.
It seems little because you only have to deal with it with one man.
Yeah.
And you're like...
But I'm saying there's more... I feel like there's more serious... Like, people who, like, manipulated them.
You can't really compare traumas, though. Because it's like, it affects people differently.
Yeah.
Like, that... Emotional, what did we say? Emotional abuse? No, what was it?
Financial abuse? Was it financial abuse?
I mean, the financial abuse
was financially abused.
Was an equivalent to you as somebody else's emotional abuse because, that was like your wit's end. So.
Yeah, especially when he stole that lump sum.
I think for me, everything is a work in progress, whatever you want to call it.
Progress.
Either or, a tomato. Can you fully recover? I don't know if you can fully recover, but because the fact that those things still bother me, I don't know if I'll ever recover. But the fact that I have the knowledge of knowing how to work around it, maybe I can. That's how I feel about it.
Okay.
So, how does PTSD affect relationships that you're in now?
How does my relationship PTSD or just PTSD?
No, yours. Speaking for you specifically, because I've seen some of like what it can affect, but I'm saying, how does it affect you specifically?
Yeah, how my relationship PTSD affects me specifically is I don't date poor men, but I guess it just leaves me giving a certain type of man chances, and those type of men usually aren't. Just because a man has money doesn't make him a good man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, he has money, and then the personality is trash. I'm just like, well, I'm back to square one. Because I don't just care if you have money. I just want you to be a good person, have a good personality, too, also. So I think it affects me. It makes it harder for me to get into relationships. Because there's so many boxes I have to check before I can get in there. And, if a person not having a certain type of status or whatever wasn't one of my boxes, I think I would have been.
Yeah.
There's a lot of niggas who don't got a lot of money who would date me, so. But I also don't just want to lay up and cuddle and, hang out and. I want to do things. I want you to be able to do the things I can do for myself. So if I can do certain things and go on vacations, have a good time, and go out to eat and go on dates and still afford my lifestyle, why should I have to settle for someone who just can afford to just watch Netflix and chill?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, see, I agree exactly what you're saying, so I don't feel like I need to tag on that. I looked at in general one, and it says, intimacy in relationships can be affected when you live with a certain symptoms of PTSD, such as a lack of interest in enjoyable activities, negative self-image, feeling disconnected from others, and inability to emotionally connect. And I feel like that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Like, when you are so...
You just described so many men. So do all these men have relationship PTSD?
They absolutely might. We don't know, but I'm just saying, like... Having the inability to connect on just the simple level of like getting to know someone is a problem within itself. Because you don't want to. Like we just said earlier, even with the old men that want to connect with us, we're like, you ain't got no money, so we ain't trying to connect with you.
Period.
That's PTSD for not trying to talk to broke niggas. I literally told my mom, and I literally tell anyone I'm dating, I'm like, I don't date someone because I like you. I don't date. I said, I'm not dating for love. I'm dating for the fact that I don't want to date someone that's broke, like you said. And I told my mom, I was like, I've watched you. I've watched this. I've watched all of these. If you are not financially stable, I'm not dating you.
Period.
And it's not a shallow thing. It's not a issue, but it's like, I'm not broke. So I'm not coming into this asking you to give me everything that you have and more.
Even if you are broke, I feel like men or women, they value different things. A man is comfortably okay with dating a woman who doesn't have money.
Exactly.
Because that's not very important.
But I don't feel like that should be their goal. I feel like they should date someone either on their level or someone's on the way to their level. Because at the end of the day, it's gonna cause resentment.
Okay, on the way to the level, cool, whatever. But we're not willing to date someone that's on the way to level. So it's not the same thing because men are comfortable dating women who are work in progress. Women are also comfortable dating with men who are work in progress. There's lots of women who date men who are poor, who are also working on themselves and who are just flat out broke, who are bums. You know, women would date anything.
I feel like that's on the extreme. You know, I feel like you got to be a bum to want to date a bum. I feel like
there are some women who have nice jobs. Have you not seen Love After Lockup? These women have nice jobs.
You know what? That has a lot to do with their previous relationship PTSD, and they feel like the sense of control is enough for them to be in that relationship.
So we're not talking about the reason why they do it. I'm saying the women who do it. So
we're calling niggas in jail bums. That's what you said.
Some niggas in jail are bums. Like, let's be fucking for real, because they use people, and when they get out of jail, they leave the bitch. Like, they're bums. But we're not just talking about niggas in jail. I'll just give you an example. There's some niggas who are bums that women would date because they want to fix them. They want them to be better. And these women have nice jobs. Like, I can't tell you how many nurses date drug dealers or niggas who are just whatever. But that's besides the point. We're actually talking about, what are we talking about?
So we're talking about a personal story of when you felt like that was the tipping point of your PTSD. You said personal stories. We're at personal stories.
Yeah. But
do you have a personal story?
Of me?
Either or, because I mean, we wrote down both. So while you think about it, I'll talk about it. Okay. So for my first, I think I've been in probably 3 situations where my relationship PTSD went into hyperdrive, and a lot of it wasn't known until after the fact. So when I was in my long-term relationship that was 7+ years, I never realized how traumatic it was until we were on the other end of it. And he was like, yeah, I was traumatized. And I'm like, you were traumatized? And nigga, I was traumatized. So for me, I personally probably only had like maybe 3 traumatic situations, but I feel like of all of those, it was my long-standing 7-year relationship one, where it was like I didn't realize how traumatic it was until we were on the other side of it and like trying to talk about it as friends. And like he was just like, yeah, I was traumatized. And I'm like, traumatized? Nigga, you were traumatized. I was traumatized. Mm-hmm. And like we keep saying, I always say it's because we were holding on to the idea of comfortability more than we were of sustainability. Mm-hmm. And I love him absolutely so much, but it was just, I can't love him how he wanted to be loved when I didn't love the situation. Mm-hmm. So
yeah. So okay, now that I kind of remember, I remember my personal story now. It was my 3-year relationship, I guess you can call it a relationship, and I didn't realize how I didn't realize the relationship was a trauma bond until I was reading the 7 whatever we were talking about, and I was like, oh wow, like it was definitely a lot of love bombing in the beginning, a lot of romantic gestures, a lot of oohs and ahs. I'm like, oh, we're in college and you're doing all of this, and then pretty much everything except isolating of the family. It was definitely progressive of things going on. First, it started with the name calling. Then it was the, you dumbass. It was like the, you dumbass bitch, you stupid ass hoe. Like, then it progressed to that. And then it progressed to, him throwing stuff at me, and it progressed to, him knowing stuff that would trigger me and hurt me, and him purposely doing those things to get a reaction out of me. And when I do react, he'll be like, why are you reacting? What's wrong? Like, why are you doing so much? And it'll be, me like, be crying, expressing my feelings, how much he hurt me, and him laughing in my face. And then it going to the point where we're fucking fist fighting at Walmart, on the day of me moving. So I'm just like, when I was reading that, I was like, wow, like everything that I went through in that relationship was definitely traumatic. Yeah. And it was a lot of abusive behavior. And I'm like, I didn't realize it was abusive behavior until I came out from it. And it definitely affected me a lot. And I'm seeing it now more than it affected me, because when I get into relationships and I'm talking to someone, I try to, what's the word? Like, be very soft-spoken about every situation, because he would always be very aggressive and yelling. So now I've noticed when I go into a situation, I'm very like, okay, so what's this? Because I'm so used to someone over talking me and overbearing the conversation and be in control of it. So definitely learning more to, you know, stand on my own and not being so soft-spoken when it comes to what I have, you know, issues about. But yeah, I think it definitely affected me a lot to the point where I didn't know I was going through an abusive relationship till I am out of the abusive relationship. And I'm just like, wait. And it's even weird saying it's an abusive relationship because I don't think, but abuse does come in different ways. It's not always physical.
Not always physical.
You know, it's someone, if your boyfriend should not be calling you a dumbass bitch asshole, that's abusive. That's emotional.
I'm going to say, I've never dealt with that, but I still consider my situation traumatic. Because I'm like, damn, all the emotions and everything we went through was pretty much traumatic, but it's not as traumatic as yours. So it's like.
It is traumatic. And then it's like to the point where at the end of it, it's like you get addicted to the highs and the lows. And it's like you minimize yourself just so you can have a good day because you don't know what's going to trigger that person to make him upset. So
yeah, mine was never that intense, but I understand.
It was that intense. And I'm just like, that was weird. You are a very weird person to do this to someone and then say you want to be with them and to still harass this person till this day.
I felt the same. That reminds me of my last ex. It's like, bruh, it was like so many things I compromised on. Yeah. And now I look back on it. I compromised on so much shit with him. And I'm just like, yo.
And it's like,
nigga, I cannot stand you.
I can't stand. I cannot stand
like
man.
The idea of him living and being happy. I got to get that nigga back from that. Like,
really? Yeah.
Ain't no debating that. Like,
yeah, and I learned that this person I was dealing with was a narcissist. Like that was
absolutely
narcissist behavior. Like book definition.
And we hate those, but we love them, clearly. Yeah. So we're getting into how trauma bonding also can be a form of PTSD in relationships.
We're not gonna talk about how we probably traumatized a nigga.
Have you what nigga have you traumatized?
I don't know if I traumatized a nigga. Oh, honestly, I think I traumatized my first boyfriend. I'm not gonna lie.
I think, like I'm saying, yeah, my long-standing relationship was my trauma.
Oh, you did trauma. You did say.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it was back and forth because it was tit for tat. It was like neither of us. If I didn't win, you can't win type shit. So, but it's so humbling to come out of the other side of that and still be able to say, damn, here I am, bitch.
Here I am. Okay.
So did you want to add to the way that you traumatized him?
I think I traumatized him with going a lot of back and forth. I dangled.
And we do that a lot.
I dangled possibly going back to him in his face a little bit, even though I knew I was not going to go back to him. And he did everything in his power to try to get me back. And it was just like, you weren't. And he never did. So I feel like that's kind of traumatizing to work so hard to get someone and that person giving you false hope just to never happen. And I mean, I
can't wait to do that to somebody. You know who it is.
So I remember calling him one day out the blue, and then he just like, who is this? I'm like, it's Sam. He's like, okay, let me call you back. And then he picks up and never calls me back. So I'm like, yeah, I traumatized this nigga. He hates me.
Okay, so PTSD, trauma bonding, how they correlate, and how is that relationship to PTSD? So a trauma bond is a connection between an abusive person and the individual they abuse. It reflects of the attachment created by repeating physical or emotional trauma with positive reinforcement. And I feel like that's the one thing that people miss out when they think about trauma bonding. It's like, even though it's negative, it's followed up by positivity. So you do not understand that it's really a trauma bond and it's not a real attachment. So there are 7 stages of that. I'm not gonna get into them so deeply, but I'm gonna show you how it starts and how it ends. So the perfect example of it, I don't know if you'll have Hulu, but there is a show called Tell Me Lies, and it perfectly displays all of these steps. And if you see them, you will notice them because you're not in it. So there's love bombing, and that is where, you know, everything is really intense in the relationship. You're giving the person everything they want that they never got in the relationship, and you think that this is like perfect, positive. This is what you need. And so then we're going to the trust and dependency. We all know what that is. Criticism. When someone is criticizing you and you love them, you try to fix everything that there is and make sure that they stick around. Next, there is gaslighting. And that is someone that doubles down on when they're wrong and makes you feel like you are the fucking problem. Then there is resigning your control. So you decide that you are no longer going to be in control of your own life because you want this one connection in your life so fucking bad that that's what all that matters to you. Next, there is the loss of self. When you start not recognizing yourself, you start losing your friends, you start isolating. And then you feel like, you know what? He's all I have. And when you realize he's all you have, it leads to the last step, and that is addiction. And when you are addicted to someone, the things that you will go and the lengths that you will do to keep that person in your life is sometimes kind of fucking scary.
All right.
So outside of that, in trauma bonding and PTSD, we're going to talk about the signs of when you are in a traumatic relationship and ways to heal. So you want to take it away on the signs that you are in a traumatic or a PTSD situation or leading to it?
All right. So here are some signs you're having PTSD is vivid flashbacks, which I be having sex flashbacks. So I don't think sex flashback is PTSD, and they'd be vivid as fuck. But I don't think that's PTSD. But they said, well, you be having vivid, but you also said like, yeah, having sex flashbacks is PTSD. But how, bitch? You just remember the good ass sex.
But you got to think about it. People love bombing and like the trauma bonding. You think of the passion and the good in place of all the bad.
Okay.
Like literally, for the example for the show, like they'll get in a big ass fucking argument and then have sex after. Mm-hmm. And we always think of makeup sex is like the highlight.
What got to do with sex flashbacks?
That's a problem because you are fantasizing on the good instead of focusing on the bad shit they did to you. That's why it's a problem. Do you ever have sex flashbacks of niggas that are treating you right?
Yeah. Yeah. I do.
I love that.
Also, intrusive thoughts or images, nightmares, intense distress, or real symbolic. What was I say? Symbolic reminders of the trauma and physical sensations such as pain, sweating, nausea, or trembling. So when your legs shaking, when you having sex, that's
traumatized. It's the trauma leaving the body. It's the trauma leaving the body.
Yeah, those are. But no. Let's be fucking for real though. Those are signs of PTSD. Fuck the section I said. That was just a joke.
So ways to heal and get over that PTSD is cultivating an environment that feels emotionally and physically safe. That's very fucking important when you're trying to move forward from something that was unstable. Secondly is identify and establish boundaries. Easy, simple. Building a support system with the trusted individuals, communicating your needs, engage in activities that help you feel calm and safe, self-care through balanced meals, regular sleeping and movement, and seeking professional help, such as a therapist, psychologist, or a psychiatrist.
All right.
So,
with that being said, I think it's time for us to get into some other
motherfucking questions.
All right. Okay. So, why? This is funny. So we kind of already talked about this. Why do you think these men are out here financially abusing these bitches?
They're financially abusing people because they can. The fuck? If I could financially abuse a nigga, I probably would too.
What?
But the thing is, it's not on purpose. They say more money, more problems. And they say when you get that much power, you literally abuse it. You do. Let's be real.
So if it's not on purpose, you said if I could do it,
I would.
Means you're making a conscious decision to.
But I'm telling you,
someone, but it's not on purpose.
I feel like with a certain amount of money comes a certain amount of status, so you feel untouchable. It happens all the time.
Okay, so let's talk about what financial abuse is. Financial abuse is when you withhold money from your spouse, so they can't get certain things. Like, let's say you have a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad, which is mostly women. So I'm going to say stay-at-home mom, and she needs so-and-so for groceries. So you're only giving her just a little amount, even though you have a family and, 2 kids. Also, financial abuse is when you are telling her like, oh, she can't get these things unless she, gives you more sex.
Or it means that they'll give you things, but with them giving you that, when they get mad at you, they'll take it away from you.
Well, that too. Those are all financial abuse. So to say that you would purposely withhold... I didn't say
purposely, but I'm saying...
Okay, you said you would financial abuse a niggas. That means you would withhold funds.
I said it's not on purpose, but it's like when you have...
You said if I had a chance, I would financial abuse a nigga.
I feel that.
So that means you would purposely withhold funds so he can't buy whatever he needs in the house.
I would
you
never
would buy him shit and then give it back. Or you would say, in order to get shit, I'm a firm believer in treating niggas how they treat you.
So if my nigga ever done it to me, yes, I'm gonna do it to you. Honestly, actually, you know what? Yes, I'm a firm believer. If you did to me, I'm gonna do it back to you.
Yeah.
So, but if my nigga don't do that, I'm not gonna do that to you.
Okay.
But if you are fucked up a
let's
nigga,
just not financially abuse anyone.
Yeah, how about that?
Like,
That sounds great.
let's just start there.
Sounds great in theory.
Yeah.
My
but
question.
yeah.
Oh,
go ahead.
My question is, what is the worst type of PTSD to leave a relationship with?
I think any kind of sexual PTSD is the
like
worst type.
Domestic, physical abuse. Yeah.
Yeah, any kind of abuse, any kind of sexual abuse are the worst, because that is just such a dark rabbit hole to get into with another partner.
Having your
one, you have to
sacral
explain to
fucked
that
up,
partner. Two, your partner has to be patient enough,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard finding a patient nigga. To one who's going to be gentle, patient enough to understand that they have to be gentle with you. And then when you do react a certain way, when you are acting out, they have to be patient enough to, understand that they still love you and that you're acting out because of your, PTSD. So anything traumatizing like that, I feel like those are the worst, because it makes it so much harder to find a partner who's going to be willing to endure and be patient enough to, deal with that stuff. Because there's some things that if a nigga's problem, like niggas will be like, oh, I have problems, saying I love you, or I'm not affectionate. I don't have the patience to
for that
to love a nigga through his, problem of not being able to be affectionate or romantic. I don't have that, So for him to find a girl who's okay with not, receiving that and being patient enough to love him through that and maybe teach him to do better. Actually, bitches will really.
The most traumatic thing you can leave me with is a baby.
The most traumatic thing you can leave me with is a baby. Yeah, okay. Because they don't go away.
What's your next question?
My next question is, if you were on Love is Blind and the guy that you were chosen to get married to is a white man, would you continue to do the show?
Absolutely. I'm gonna still get money off the show, and if
okay.
I might
Lauren,
and I might end up finding love. Like, granted,
I would never date a white man.
I would never, but I feel like if I'm doing an experiment to meet someone for who they are instead of what they look like, I did it for a reason. So I gotta at least see it through.
Okay, Lauren. So. All right, you looking like Lauren today too.
Girl, go to hell. I don't have another question.
Okay, I guess I'll answer my own question. I would definitely continue to experiment because, honestly, I'm not going to say I don't care about race, but I am open-minded to date someone regardless of their race. But the thing is, I feel like if I was on Love and Blind, on those pods, I'm going to try to ask certain questions to find out if you're white or not, or if you're black. Yeah. I just feel like I'm just be like, okay, what's your favorite,
Yeah, I'm gonna really try to get to know you. Because the point is to find love.
Yeah, because even though, I feel like if you were to talk on the pods with me, you would probably not know what my race is.
Yes, we would.
But okay,
absolutely.
Really? But would I talk?
Yes, absolutely. I would know you're black.
Well, that's
yes, ma'am.
Thank you. But I feel like even if it's someone that I don't know their race, I would probably ask questions.
Damn, I do have a question because we didn't talk about it.
What's your question?
So, is it trauma or is it an excuse?
Okay. That's your question?
Yeah, because
is what a trauma is it?
Like we said, that is it trauma or is it an excuse?
Yeah, it could be both. But
that was the question because we didn't talk about it in the show.
It could be both. It could be trauma and it could be an excuse.
Okay, well, I feel like you know what, you never fucking know until you sit there and talk to them.
I was watching. I was on TikTok, and this lady, she was with her husband for 41 years, and one day he decided that he wanted to leave her for a younger woman. And his excuse of him leaving her for a young woman was because she wasn't having enough sex with him. Okay. And the woman was giving him more attention and more sex. Mm-hmm. And do you think that's trauma or do you think that's an excuse?
Excuse. That's definitely an excuse because I feel like that woman's not going to love you like she love you.
How you know, though? That younger woman could probably love him.
She loves the attention and money she's getting.
She definitely loves him. He was a rich nigga. So he definitely has some money. But I don't understand how you can be married with someone 41 years and just leave them like that. Like just
boredom.
Yeah.
Boredom.
That means you've probably been trying to leave the bitch. Like there's no way you just wake up and be like, I'm out. You probably hated this bitch for years and then you finally got the courage.
That's usually what they say. They say you always emotionally leave before you physically leave.
Yeah. Then you find a young, hot, new tenderoni.
Anywho, thank y'all for following us on this journey about PTSD, relationship PTSD, our relationship PTSD, what we're dealing with, how we're healing, how to heal. And can you follow us on all social media platforms at The Real Sip and Spill, except Twitter, which is
Sip and Spill 1.
And while you're idly is a 5-star rating. So some
5-star bitches out.
I sip wine, kick my feet up when I get tired. And as I recline, take another sip, let spitting, spilling.